Hi, my name is Sunny Halatkar. I am a user experience designer and a user interface designer. You could even call me a digital product designer. And I run a design agency in Hyderabad called Go Design. Uh, I generally work with software companies and help make their products much more user friendly and much more easier to use. Especially, we like to target and we like to make products as accessible and as open as possible. So people with different sort of disabilities and people who, let's say, don't even have good internet connection can also be use products and avail the services which we are working with. Right now, I run a design agency called Ripple Design. Ripple Design is a user experience or user interface design studio where we work with software companies to help them make much more user friendly software, which will our aim is to actually try to make potentially make the software as simple to use, as simple to a point where a 5-year-old could potentially use the software without having to read a manual. Other than work, well, I game a lot. I play Dota quite a bit. Um, I like to read. I like to watch a lot of movies. I'm a huge filmophile, if that's a word. And I really like to look into movies and try to understand. I like to. I'm one of those. I'm a movie nerd, you can say. I like to look into movies and understand the thought process they went through to come up with different scenes and how they did it. I mean, in my college, part of my college curriculum involved filmmaking, so I think I understand. That's what got me into it. And yeah, and I like to go out, meet my friends, and just other than that, just regular stuff. So I started off wanted to get into animation. I really loved anime, Japanese anime, and then I loved like cartoons and anime is something I used to love watching as I grew up. So after my 12th, I joined uh, a, a training institute nearby called Arena Animation to learn animation. But then I realized people over there didn't exactly have the passion for animation like I did. Like I walk over there and then like I try to talk to the lecturers like, hey, listen, Dragon Ball Z is like one of my favorite animes out there. Go, why can't we stream it for an entire college? And my lecturer was like, what is Dragon Ball Z? And that was one of the moments I realized that was not a place I want to learn animation where they don't even know one of the best animes out there. So then from there, I decided to join a different college. Ended up joining this place called DJ Academy of Design, which is near Coimbatore. So DJ Academy of Design, to be honest, is a huge turning point in my life. It wasn't a specialized course as per se. So over there, I did communication design. So as part of the course, I did graphic design, filmmaking, animation, illustration, UI UX design also. I did production design. I did all sorts of stuff, and it actually helped open me up to a lot of different things which I could potentially do, and open my eyes into like all the different things which can be done. And then after that, during our final year for our internship, I had come to a point where I was like either filmmaking or UI UX design. and then and then finally I ended up going to UI UX design because I realized that is something which would help me make a difference. Filmmaking is something which I could tell stories, but with UI UX design I could make people's lives better. So that's why I chose UI UX design. And then after that, I worked at a couple of agencies. I interned at an agency, and then it both in Bangalore. And then I came to Hyderabad. After which I started freelancing for a while. While freelancing, I realized that there was a huge market in India, and then slowly I started getting more clients where I couldn't handle the work myself. So I started hiring other designers. So the main goal of user experience, or let's just summarize it under product design. The end goal of it is try to make products as simple and easy as possible. Like for example, a really good example you could say is a difference between Google Pay and, let's say, Paytm, or how it was before. In Google Pay, it literally takes you two or three taps to make a transaction. In Paytm, at least before, you have to do a whole bunch of stuff before you actually come to a point of making transaction. So how we make people's lives easier is by making things as simple and as easy as possible, to a point where even my grandfather can use Google Pay at this point. But then if I bring another, but he would still struggle to use other applications because there's so many other things to do. But Google Pay is, I'm using Google Pay as an example because they have actually done a good job with making the entire process as simple, and actually met the core philosophy of what I'm trying to do. So the major challenges I faced initially, the first challenge I had was because in my college it was not a specialized course. We did a lot of things. So by the time I actually was in the job market, I just knew the basics of user experience design or digital product design. So my biggest challenge at that point was to get in par with the rest of the people in the market and get to where they are. So for that, it involved me doing a lot of online courses and sitting and practicing on my own, looking at other applications and learning why they did something and how what they did helped them from a business standpoint and from a user standpoint. And after that, I just kept practicing and challenging myself, and that's how I improved on that. And then after that, my main challenge right now is, like, for example, so I spend so much time in improving myself as a designer. Now I've come to a point where it's no longer how good I am as a designer. I've come to a point where my current challenge is, how do I inspire other people to become better designers? Because right now, like, as I'm growing, I can't sit and work on every project on my own, right? And as I'm hiring designers, or not everyone obviously will have my motivation, my ambition, my experience. So understanding their skill set, setting my expectations, uh, and matching those expectations with client expectations, and making sure everything, and making sure the designers I get have reached a type of quality I am trying to push for without me having to micromanage. So that's my current challenge. So I generally wake up at like 11:30, 11:30. And when I wake up, I already have like 5 emails because I work with clients outside India and inside India. So like from 11:30 to like 2, 3 a.m. is my general work time. So I wake up to like a couple of emails, I start responding to emails, LinkedIn, all other stuff. And even while, like, freshening up, I'm like catching up with stuff. And then right after that, generally we have a stand-up call at like 11:30, 12, or 12, let's say. And depending on if I have other calls scheduled around this time, we push that to after lunch. And then I'll probably have a couple of calls going on till 4, where I talk to clients, talk to my designers, try to make sure everything is on track. And then after that, after 4, since we're still a small agency, I still have to be involved in every project. So from 4 to around 8:30, I work on project myself, whatever work I need to do, make sure everything meets expectations, make sure everything consistent. And then again at like 8, I start getting on calls with my clients. I have a call starting at 8 till 9:15, and 9:30 I have another call, and at 10:30 I have another call, which goes on to like 1. And then after 1, and that is 1 a.m. at this point. And after 1 a.m. I have to sit and summarize all the calls I've had and try to make sure I didn't miss out anything, and then send minutes of meeting to everyone I spoke to. And then I go back, and then I go to sleep way after sending the final emails. And then if any of my friends are awake at that point to take a break, I probably play a game with Dota. And then that cycle repeats again. That's the weekdays. Weekends, before that was my weekends as well. But then right now I realize it was very bad for my mental health. So I've been trying to not work on my weekends, which again is another challenge I'm working on. But yeah, one battle at a time, right? I would say find something you're passionate about, because if I wasn't passionate about what I'm doing, I wouldn't be able to sit and work so much. And I actually, to be completely honest, I won't consider this work. This just become my life. Like, I'm not. It doesn't stress me out. It's just It just I like what I do. So that's what motivates me to do this the way I do, and that's actually what I realize is what has made me get better at it, because I like what I do. I kept looking at how to get better at it, and I would say, try to find what they're passionate about, and not always will that passion be something which could, help them make money as well. So maybe they could find like a nice fusion of their passion and what works for them. Like for example, this is not pure. It didn't start off purely as complete passion. Like I was really interested in, like I said, I started off with animation, right? And then almost got into filmmaking, and then I fused filmmaking with software. Because in terms of, see, I had a passion for telling stories, and software right now is a place where it's so rigid, it's so mechanical, and then making it more user friendly is does come down to telling a story. So I found that bridge between what I liked and what I needed, and slowly this became my passion, I guess. Yeah, and that's how it worked for me. And I guess everyone should probably try to do the same if they can't find their passion within what they need. Well, I would say, I mean, I guess I would be biased to this because I am a designer myself, but I would say the whole UI UX design sector is growing right now. There is a lot of scope. Like if you look at the market as well, there are like a billions of engineers out there, but then there's just very few designers to help make better software. And there are lots of courses online, to be honest. There's Interaction Design Foundation, there is IDEO, and lots of other these big companies. Microsoft and Google also have their own UX courses online. And yeah, because of this whole COVID situation, I understand it's like very stressful, to become honest. It was stressful for me as well. And considering that people are sitting at home all day, I'm sure like just sitting and doing nothing, that quote, right? An idle mind is a devil's workshop. So I guess instead of sitting, I guess maybe start working on something instead of, and like try to be as productive as possible. That way, uh, at least you're moving in some direction. I think the best thing is to have goals. Like be like, okay, next 2 months, figure out what you want to do and put goals to it, goals, and start working towards these goals. And if you don't meet that goal, it's fine. Then maybe the next goal you have, just decrease expectations a bit, and then try to meet that. At least that way, instead of sitting in one place, you're actually moving forward towards something. You know, I guess that is something which you can do. Otherwise, I'm sure they can't even go to school right now, or even lots of companies have also laid out people. So there are quite a few people sitting at home, and I'm sure if, yeah, like I said, sitting idly doesn't help anyone. So yeah. I would say learn how to network, because that is one skill which is common in every industry. Like you want to be a designer, you want to be HR, you want to be whatever you want to do. In the end of the day, you will still have to network. You will still have to let people know what you do for them to hire you. If they don't, like, even if people are looking for people like you, if they don't know you exist, you'll never get hired. So learn how to network and put themselves out there, and let people know that this is a skill you have and you're ready to work for, and ready to help them with that skill. The easiest way would be, since everyone's sitting at home, they can't actually go out. I guess the easiest way would be social media right now. Like they can start off with their friends and family. I'm sure not everyone in your entire Facebook friends list knows exactly what you do. Maybe they can start posting a bit about what they're doing, and then start messaging people. Like, like for example, if, like in my case, since I design software, most of my work, it revolves around people who build software. So I started off by outreaching every person I know who's in the software industry, let them know like, hey, this is what I do, and I start talking to them. Obviously, not everyone will have a job for me, but it starts a conversation, and that person tells his friend, and he says his friend, and slowly the network effect, you can call it, right? And slowly that way, at some point, someone will want it, and you can potentially get a job. Yeah. In a nutshell, I'm sure they'll. It's a lot of work. I won't deny, but in a nutshell, that's how they can do that. Yeah. Well, first thing I do is probably try to understand what their strengths are, and try to help them improve on those strengths, and then see where they want to get to with those strengths, and then I would probably try to help them come up with a plan on how they can reach their goals. And yeah, I would basically, as a mentor, if I would mentor, I would basically facilitate their growth, understand where they want to be, and give them suggestions and help them get to where they are, and give them whatever resources I can to help them get to where they need to go.